Now on Talking Solutions. It's been a while since you were here, Raylene Ernie with the Southern Nevada Health District. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Terry. Thanks for having us.
I think we've got a really good topic today, Care for Life. Can you tell everybody what that is?
I'd love to, Terry. Care for Life is a wonderful program, and the Southern Nevada Health District is offering it for free to all your listeners. It can be used as an app to help manage type 2 diabetes or even type 1 diabetes. All are welcome to join. You can also participate on your phone or your computer. So you have the choice, but you sign up and it's like having a little health coach in your pocket telling you what to do, guiding you on what choices to make to help manage your diabetes. The reason why those health coaches are so important is because people just, if they're diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, they don't know what to do, what to eat, how to become active, how to take their diabetes medication. And this Care for Life program does all that and more.
It's like it's holding your hand as you go through this whole process, because once you're diagnosed with, in many cases, type 2 diabetes, this is something you're going to deal with for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. It's a lifestyle. It really is. And all the things we talk about in our programs, as you know, it's all about the behaviors. What can I do to change how I eat? Doing the small things, adding more fruits and vegetables into your eating plan. Maybe it's taking a walk after dinner. Just those simple things really help you to help manage diabetes, because your blood sugar level goes up and down throughout the day, depending on what you eat. If you're not active, then that's also a factor. So we want people to stay healthy. And this is one way to do that, is to manage their diabetes so it doesn't give them all those terrible complications like blindness, kidney disease, amputations, and heart disease. Let's face it, nobody wants to deal with all that.
It truly is a life-threatening condition.
Absolutely.
Movement is so important, and Care for Life being designed to help people with type 2 or even type 1 diabetes. Maybe you don't have it yourself, but you've got someone in your family or your circle who has it, and you want to make sure that when you serve them dinner or when you make them a special treat, that you do it so that it's compatible with their needs.
That's right.
But the movement, that goes across all categories. I've gotten way into this since the last time I saw you. It was the physical therapy people at UNLV, who I love so much. And something about what they were teaching me clicked. For the first time ever, I really got it. And now in our house with myself and my husband, daily movement and exercise. There's never a day off. I want to do it every day because it makes such a huge difference.
It sure does, because if we're just sitting in our chairs, and I'm guilty of this myself, I have a desk job. You know, they tell you just get out of your chair, get up and walk around to a coworker, go for a walk around the building maybe during lunchtime. There are so many little things we can do, but because we're just sitting, we're not getting up and moving, we're not using our muscles and building up anything. And plus, movement is wonderful for anxiety and stress, and sometimes people forget about that. And when we're highly stressed, all that blood sugar and even the hormones in our body, we have a lot of cortisol, which spikes too. And that isn't good for anybody, and especially for people with diabetes. So we have to manage our conditions, and even movement helps to keep blood sugar levels steady. Not everyone knows that, but it sure helps.
And it's not that hard. I know just within the last few months, they came out with stats that say that if you work, like you mentioned, at a desk job, you're just down in your seat at your desk in front of your computer for so many hours of every day, and that static kind of situation is just not good. I think the research findings said that sitting at your desk all day long is about as bad as smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, I know. I've seen studies like that as well, and that's just terrible. We want to do something about it. Our office, we're about smoking cessation as well, but, you know, not getting up and moving, if that's that detrimental to our health, we sure have to wake up and do something about it. We have a lot of apps at the health district too, and online programs as well. So I know different people are different with technology. Some people are all about downloading the apps. They can go to gethealthyclarkcounty.org to download them, or the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, but also people can go online to gethealthyclarkcounty.org and participate on their computers. So there's still a program for all of your listeners. And we have Walk Around Nevada. That's an online physical activity program. But also my coworker, Mindy, she did a fabulous job on Neon to Nature. She plugged in all of the facts about all the trails that are here in this beautiful state of Nevada. And people can just go on there and see which trails are easy, difficult, or if you're somewhere in the middle like I am, not climbing mountains necessarily, but just going on trails for walks, that just helps you to get out there and get moving and see this beautiful place we call home. I just want to encourage people that you don't have to necessarily join the gym. Nothing bad against gyms. I do go when I can, and it's a great thing to do. But if you don't have the funds to go to a gym, you can just put on your tennis shoes, lace them up, and go to the nearest trail, find out where it is, and start walking. And it's just doing your body a lot of good.
Raylene Ernie is with us from the Southern Nevada Health District. We're talking about Care for Life, a great program, and we'll get back to that in just a second. You were just mentioning gethealthyclarkcounty.org. You know I've been a fan of that for years. There is so much on that website.
We appreciate that. And of course, viewers and listeners, we appreciate their participation because without them, without you guys, we don't have people participating actively. So we really need to get the word out about the programs. Have your family sign up, your coworkers, you yourself. And sometimes you can sign up as a group, especially on the Walk Around Nevada program. That's a really nice way to have that support built in. So maybe you don't feel like going somewhere on a walk, but you have a coworker who keeps you accountable and you say, check in with me, at least once a week and we'll go for a walk. Just having that support really helps you to stay on track. Or scheduling an appointment on your calendar. I do this a lot. And I think, well, was I active today? I check in with myself and ask myself that question. And then I think, well, I can pencil in, even if it's not a full 30 minutes right now, here's 10 minutes where I can just schedule that in, go for a walk maybe 3 times that day. I can break it up into small steps and get there eventually. And that does my body so much better than just feeling overwhelmed. Like I have to walk a marathon to get my physical activity in. You don't have to do that.
They talk about 30 minutes exercise being the optimal thing that you'd want to do a few times a week. But you're correct. We don't have to do it 30 minutes at a time. You got 5 minutes now? Great. 10 minutes? Super. A lot of times, one of the things I'm a big fan of, and I don't know if this is the official term for it or not, but it's sit and stands. Sitting in a chair and just standing up all the way up, coming back down, sitting down lightly, and doing that over and over. I do 50 of those every day.
That's fantastic.
It really makes a difference, and you feel it in your abdominal area very quickly. And just even that small effort makes a huge difference.
It sure does. And I love how you used your chair as one of the ways to encourage you to get up and sit down and to keep moving because people have all different things going on. And basically, even just using chair exercises and using a band, to do some stretching in your chair has shown that people who have disabilities, there is a way you can still keep moving even if you have limitations. It's great.
Sit and be fit, I think, is one of the early morning exercise programs where she's not even getting up and moving around.
That's
and
right.
It's designed for people who do have a difficulty in moving. You still can be active no matter what your challenge is.
Absolutely. And what I love too about the programs we have, you don't have to just walk. You can even swim, you can dance, whatever you're able to do or stretch. And you can put your minutes of physical activity into the online program, like Walk Around Nevada, for example. Then every month or so, there are prizes that my coworker sends out an email saying, oh, we're going to draw for a shirt. Or if you make it around the state of Nevada, there's a prize that you get. And then you get to see your name in the Hall of Fame. We try to make it fun for people. You do it because of the health benefits. But then if you get a little incentive, I know we've had little strainers to strain your fruits and veggies, as one of the prizes. It's just a way to show you that we care and we want to make it easier for you to sign up for our programs and have some fun with it along the way.
And all this stuff we're talking about is free.
That's right. And Care for Life has a lot of good things in it. And one thing that I might have forgotten to mention is that people need help reminding them to take their medications if they have diabetes. If you turn on in the application that you need a reminder to take your medicine, it will help you to do that. You can tell the program what time you wake up and set the reminder for when you want it, and then it will text you a reminder to take your medication. That's a really neat feature I wanted to mention for Care for Life. The American Diabetes Association gave all their evidence-based education. They worked with a company named Voxiva to do all the technical programming behind the scenes. The Southern Nevada Health District, we really wanted to make this available to people here in Southern Nevada. So we had written a grant to get the funding to participate because it's like we're paying your subscription fees for you to join Care for Life. That's how I look at it. So in our grant, we got some funding through September 2017. This is our effort to really get the program out to everyone so that you sign up now, have the time, because It's a 6-month program, really, and you don't have to feel overwhelmed by that. It's just that's how long you can participate in it should you choose to. You can pause the program at any time. You can tell the program that you want less messages or more messages, and you're the one who's in control of what you want to do in the program. We're just excited about that. And so the education comes to people who join. The American Diabetes Association makes it available in their own programs, but the health district, we didn't have anything like that here. We don't have an American Diabetes Association office here anymore. The regional office now is in Utah. The health district thought, well, if we can make this available to people here and help them manage their diabetes, that would be a really good thing because not all people have time to go to classes. So we thought if we could bring the education to people, to their phones, to their computer, and they can participate anytime they want, that was a good way because we were seeing when we were teaching classes long ago that sometimes people couldn't get to their classes. Maybe they didn't have the transportation to get there, or they had childcare difficulties where they had families to take care of and couldn't get away to join a class. So the health district is all about looking at what programs are out there. And yes, we still refer to those existing programs. The classes are wonderful. If we don't teach them, that's okay. We want the community partners who teach classes to get people in their classes. Our thing was find out what doesn't exist and bring that to people as another option to help them with their diabetes.
Raylene Ernie is with us with the Southern Nevada Health District. We're talking about Care for Life. And Raylene, you mentioned that the American Diabetes Association, they don't have an office right here for Southern Nevada, but that they are regionally coming out of Utah. That's okay because all of the services and programs that someone with type 2 or even type 1 diabetes needs or their families, all of those services are right here. And we were talking also about the website I'm such a fan of, which is gethealthyclarkcounty.org. From that website, there's also a link where you can click to get to careforlife.com.
Yes, careforlife.com is the website people can sign up for if they just go through that program. If you go to gethealthyclarkcounty.org, like you just described, we put an instruction page on our website so people can go through step by step to sign up. And I really like that because not everyone knows about technology or how do I sign up. And we even gave you a code that you can enter when you sign up. Lots of programs require maybe a prescription or even medical insurance. And this program, you don't need either. That's what I really like about it. You can sign up, go to our website, gethealthyclarkcounty.org, and step by step, just go through and it will bring you to that careforlife.com website like I mentioned, but then it gives you the code, what to use. So I really want you to go to gethealthyclarkcounty.org to get that sign up code. That part is the most important thing. So you can sign up for free and participate for free.
And you get to go to that really neat website to start with and say, wow, I had no idea all this was here. gethealthyclarkcounty.org. Raylene, we're talking a lot about type 2 diabetes. I get really frustrated. It's a big problem, and it's going to be an even bigger problem later.
Yes, unfortunately, that is the truth. Just to kind of put this in perspective, for Clark County, we are looking at about 1 in 10 people with type 2 diabetes. And type 2 is more common than type 1. That's why. And it's not to leave out those with type 1. Type 1 folks are about 5% of our population here. Type 2, it's about 10%. So if you think about 218,000, just as a rough estimate, of people with type 2 diabetes. Seems like a lot of people. I looked at the American Diabetes Association, and they have a fact sheet, and it's looking at a snapshot, diabetes in the United States. But we can also look at it here locally and say we have the same issues that we do nationally. So on their fact sheet, it says 1 out of 4 do not know they have diabetes. That's a scary thing. We all have a lot of Facebook friends. You know, you and I, if we added 2 more people in here, that would be 1 person out of 4 would have diabetes. And what they say is if we don't take time and start doing the behavioral things, losing a little bit of weight. Now, what's a little bit? What the American Diabetes Association says is 5 to 7% of our weight. So let's look at an example. If someone weighs 200 pounds, losing just 10 to 14 pounds would do a wonderful thing to reduce their risk. And also it's less pressure on your joints, moving around, it's so much easier. So we're not talking about hundreds of pounds here. Just losing 10 to 14 pounds will make a difference, meaning eat a little bit better and get that movement, that exercise that we're talking about. Those 2 things together, they say will reduce your risk by 58%. That's
58.
More than half. 58% to reduce risk of developing type 2, also reduce risk of complications. So there's really a huge incentive here to get people to adopt some of these small lifestyle changes to really help their health overall.
We're talking with Raylene Ernie from the Southern Nevada Health District about Care for Life, which is a great program. It's an app you can use on your phone that will help you walk the walk of dealing with things like type 2 diabetes, which is unfortunately all too common. My question to you, Raylene, would be, well, if I'm one of the 1 in 4 people who doesn't know I have diabetes, it must not be bothering me that much. If I don't even know I have it, then it shouldn't be that much of a problem. But that's not true, is it?
No, it's not. And you gave a wonderful point. Basically, a lot of times people don't have symptoms of type 2 or they don't know what they are. And without knowing that, you think, well, it's not going to affect me. And what we call that is denial in diabetes. Unfortunately, those two things go hand in hand. And we're not picking on anybody by any means. The thing is, diabetes is a scary disease, so people don't want to know they have it. But even though glucose can be high in their bloodstream and cause the complications early on, and that's the point. Basically, if you don't get tested, you can end up with kidney disease, and it's a silent killer, also high blood pressure, different things like that. You may not experience those signs and symptoms. And some of the signs and symptoms are extreme thirst, extreme hunger. Sometimes people develop sores that don't heal. People don't heal well when they have diabetes. So it's really in your best interest to get tested, to get screened to see if you have it or not. I saw a statistic about children even, and this is what really was alarming to me. They said that children born in the year 2000, think about that, that was 16 years ago. 1 in 3 children born the year 2000 and forward will develop type 2 diabetes in their lifetime.
That is way, way too common.
And what's worse is if they're children who are part of the minority groups, some of the ethnicities, African American, Latino, Native American certainly has one of the highest rates, then it's 1 in 2 children born the year 2000 and after. So if nothing is done, by the time we're in the year 2050, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that more and more are going to develop type 2. So it's just heartbreaking because it's a very costly disease to manage, number one. Number 2, people don't want to know they have it, but if they don't do anything about it, doesn't mean it's going to go away. You might still have it and just not know it, and then be surprised when you go to the emergency room and have a whole host of things. And it's easier to control if you get tested earlier on, because then not as much damage, hopefully, has been done. So you can do something about it. And that's why I'm on here, because I want people to know that even if you're at higher risk, there's still something you can do about it. And I want to encourage you to do that. Be here for your family members. See your kids grow up and graduate. Be here to see them get married or whatever motivates you. Everyone's different. So you have to find out what encourages you to go to the doctor, get tested. Now, one thing I want to bring up is not everyone has health insurance. That doesn't leave you out of this whole equation. We have resources for you too on our website. In fact, we just added a list of low-cost clinics, and there's even a free clinic here in Las Vegas. They have 2 locations, and they're called Volunteers in Medicine of Southern Nevada. If you go on our website, look for Care for Life, you click on that, and then when the web page comes up that I was talking about with how to sign up for Care for Life, on the bottom it says, click here for a list of low-cost clinics and other diabetes classes. So we list them all right there for you, and you can just print them off the computer, make some calls, get tested, and on your way to knowing that you're healthy, knowing your numbers, just getting a simple blood test. Doesn't have to take a lot of time. And really, if you go through the free and low-cost clinics, it's not going to take a lot of money to find out. And then you can do something about it by making your healthcare provider your partner in crime, let's call it, because you want someone on your side. They can help you choose to monitor where you are with your health. What was your lab result this time? And they can keep track of it for you, and you can keep track and ask them good questions to make sure you're on your way to managing type 2 so you don't have to experience those terrible complications we talked about earlier.
Fingers crossed, we would hope you'd be able to avoid developing type 2 diabetes. But a lot of times I think when people go and they do that simple blood test, they find out that they're already there. They're not just on the verge, but they have now crossed over into being diagnosed with type 2. But nonetheless, it still is a condition that you can live with if you do it correctly.
That's right. And when you mentioned that too, Terry, I thought what I didn't mention were the people who were in between. So you get the lab result back, and basically it's not high enough to be diagnosed as having diabetes, but maybe your blood glucose level wasn't normal, and that A1C test that they give you, that's your average blood glucose over the last 2 to 3 months, shows that that you're at a higher than normal level, but not quite high enough to be diagnosed, then there's still something you can do to prevent diabetes. But if you crossed over, like Terry was talking about, and you have that diabetes diagnosis, not to panic. We have so many resources, not only us, but just meaning in Southern Nevada, wonderful resources people can use so that you can manage well and reduce those complications.
I think whether or not you're diagnosed as actually having type 2, or if you're just concerned about not having to deal with it, it really is worth going to the website, gethealthyclarkcounty.org. That's also where you have the direct link to Care for Life. Raylene Ernie from the Southern Nevada Health District. A couple little things that have happened here in the building just within the last week or two. Walked up to one of my friends who's on one of our stations before his show. He had a big can of tea. I said, oh my gosh, don't tell me that's sweet tea. And he goes, I love sweet tea. And I said, do you know how many sugar grams are in that? And you turn around the can and you look at the nutrition information on the back. Let's also take into consideration how many servings are in that can.
That's
and
right.
He looked and he realized that it was 3 servings. And he said, wow, look at the sugar grams. And I said, yeah, are we talking what, 21, 22, 23? And he said 23. He said, which means 69 grams of sugar in just this can.
That's a lot of sugar. You divide that by 4, and that shows you how many teaspoons of sugar are in what he drank. Wow.
He immediately said, I'm never doing that again. Awareness is such a big piece of the puzzle. If you have the knowledge, there are that many grams of sugar in a can of sweet tea or in a soda, chances are you will at least adjust your behavior. And I also believe that very few people can say, tomorrow morning, when I get up, I'm going to start this whole new way of life. I don't believe it's an automatic flip the switch. I see it more in a successful way as being gradual. Keep kicking those sugar grams down, make differences in the food you eat, the snacks you get. And I also believe that anybody can eat healthy. It just takes some planning.
Oh, you said the word right there. Planning is such a huge part of this. I've talked to people who they get confused about what to eat and everything else, and sometimes they can only cook on one day a week. Well, say for example, grilled chicken or some kind of lean protein, you can make that ahead of time. It could be lean beef or pork, or even pork tenderloin's really good, because it's very lean. But you can make that in advance, and look how many meals you can make off of that. Put them in small containers, and you keep track of your portion sizes. There are things you can do. And what I like about our website, too, is we have a lot of recipes through the different programs we have, whether it's Nutrition Challenge or even Care for Life has recipes on how you can eat and cook if you have diabetes. Those types of things. Planning certainly is one. Going to restaurants, of course, boxing up half of your meal or even a third of it. Some of these portions are platter sized. When we tell people on your dinner plates, look at a 9-inch plate. I know we don't go around measuring plates, but you can figure today dinner plates are about 12 inches or larger. So eating on those smaller plates really helps you. You're going to be fuller. Half of the plate should be your vegetables, non-starchy, especially. Your starches are like your potatoes, and sweet potatoes are good, but just not huge portions. You can have half of a potato and that would do great for you. About a third cup of rice, probably. Brown rice is better for you. So just these things, a quarter of your plate's your lean protein. Look at your hand and you can see about what portion size is appropriate for you. So if people can just look at that and just focus on their portions, or just even drinking less of those sugary beverages, drink more water, of course. We have recipes for water even on our website. We try to encourage people to drink more water, even tea, but try the less sweet tea. No sugar in the tea. Just iced tea without any sugar would be a nice choice for someone. There are a lot of tips that you can get from our programs and our website. So we hope that you'll take advantage and don't knock yourself out. These things that you're doing, just gradually implement them. Like Terry was saying, you don't have to tomorrow, it's all or nothing. Just start doing a little bit better. So if you didn't go out and take your walk today, every day you get a new chance, a new start. So don't beat yourself up. I think we do that too often. Oh, I didn't make my goal and it was so huge. I have to exercise 7 days a week and, an hour at a time. No, you don't have to do all that. Just small changes and build that in gradually. 10 minutes building up to 20, building up to 30 minutes a day for most days of the week. And you're there. Give yourself a break. Start slowly.
Anything is better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the radio station, they're always bringing food in. I'll see my friends who I love dearly. And I don't want to be the food cop. I get called that sometimes.
That's what we get called too, food police.
I know, but it's because we care.
We do.
And because we know it's not that hard. But if you have not planned and didn't eat at breakfast to have you satisfied when you come to work, and then the donuts come around and the cookies and the cakes, and without knowing it, boom, you eat it.
Sure.
Then I've heard the jokes about being on their way to type 2 diabetes, which I don't think is a joke at all.
No, it's not. Very serious. It's nothing to be taken lightly. That's why you really need to know what your status is, know your numbers. And when you are faced with those wonderful things, every office has them. Even we're health educators. We celebrate birthdays. So it's not to say that we're not tempted with what's in our environment. We're the same just like everyone else out there. We just know a little bit more about what diseases could be caused by not managing or just eating a little bit better for ourselves and getting that movement into our day. So when you look at those donuts and you think to yourself, did I eat breakfast today? And when you eat a healthy breakfast, you're less inclined to eat those donuts because you're already full. So even if you're tempted, maybe you just eat a quarter of that donut if you have to have a bite. That's a way to keep track of your portions, to build them into your meal plan so you don't feel deprived necessarily. But then think to yourself, do I really want that? Most of the time it's because we know it tastes good and sweets are something I struggle with. I can really identify with this. So I eat my oatmeal in the morning and I have my protein that's in it as well. And you can even mix in almond butter or sprinkle nuts on top, add fresh fruit. You can just do so many things with that too. Blueberries, even if you have frozen fruit, just thaw them out a little bit, throw them in there. You can eat really well and then ask yourself, do I really want that donut? So that's a step between you and the donut. I always try to build in something. Do I really need it? Am I hungry or do I just want it? That kind of helps me decide whether I'm going to even be tempted by that donut. And I have healthy snacks in my drawer too. I told you I have a desk job. So I have raw nuts easily accessible to me. And I know I don't eat the whole bag. I sit there and I
No, you portion out what you want.
Portion out what I want.
Away.
Yes. And sometimes they have them pre-portioned for you at certain stores, almonds and things like that. But whatever helps you, those help me stay satisfied throughout my day. So I'm not reaching for that convenient sugary food. I'll eat something that's good for me. Then I don't feel like I'm depriving myself.
Hey, as long as you're getting up to get a snack, you could go walk. You could do some of what I call those sit and stands on a chair.
That's right.
Move around, get some of that activity in, have a reasonable snack that's healthy, keep yourself hydrated. Those are the little steps that make us all so much healthier.
They really do. And here we live in the desert. Water is so important and people don't know that they need that. Our bodies require it. We're made up of mostly water anyway. And if we're drinking a lot of tea, we're dehydrating ourselves with the caffeine. So
and
that water is so important. So we want you to drink more water and get those recipes that are on our website, gethealthyclarkcounty.org.
That's also the portal where you will get yourself to Care for Life, which is a great program, an app for your phone. You can use it through your computer. It can keep medical information that you can share with your doctor. It can give you reminders of when you need to do your exercise or when you need to take your medication. Before we get to that stage, we can make some lifestyle decisions. Maybe we can keep you off that medicine. Maybe we can keep you from being diagnosed as type 2. There's so much you can do, and there's just really no downside to that.
No, and what a wonderful time to do this. This is a great time to set health goals because it's a new year and people have all the tools available to them. So it really doesn't take much. You know, we try to provide you choices, and if you want to do the, healthier choice for yourself, we sure hope that you'll come visit our website and take advantage of these programs because we really need to show that people are using them. We have heard from some of our Care for Life participants, some have lost weight already. And one participant said he was like a stage 3 in kidney disease. And if you go stage 4 and later, then that's kidney failure. So he was really scared. And I'm not saying that Care for Life was the sole thing that he did, but he did sign up for Care for Life. He lost weight because he started eating better and doing all the things that they sent all the tips. And basically, then his kidneys, they didn't get worse. They've improved. And he's at a place where he's managing much better. And his A1C test is in a wonderful range. So it really helped him do that. And he said the point that he liked the best was the medication reminders because he couldn't remember when to take his medicine. And this really helped him. It sent him reminders on his phone and he would get that and he would know, okay, now it's time to take my medicine.
It's so simple and it's free.
Absolutely.
Start at gethealthyclarkcounty.org where they have all kinds of amazing things. That's also your portal to careforlife.com so that you can get involved in this. And whether or not you have been diagnosed with type 2 or if you deal with type 1 diabetes, just eating better, knowing the numbers that are so scary that are looming in the distance that so many more people will deal with type 2. Let's see if we can't work on getting those numbers to go the other way.
Absolutely. We need to reverse this trend and get people healthier, keeping them out of the hospital and the emergency rooms, because that's really our goal. We really believe in quality of life. And to do that, you can encourage each other, your family members to sign up, to keep healthy, make healthier meals. And it really just helps everyone have a better state of mind, not having to be anxious or worrying about these diseases or health conditions.
Good for all of us. GetHealthyClarkCounty.org will take you you to careforlife.com. Great information. It's absolutely free. We can, fingers crossed, do it right, keep ourselves off of any additional. Who wants to take medicine anyway?
If you don't have to, that's absolutely right. And what I did forget to mention is if people speak Spanish, some of your listeners, they can sign up for the Spanish version of Care for Life. I'm really excited about that too. And we have a Spanish sister site called Viva Saludable, vivasaludable.org, and they can sign up in Spanish. So for those out there who are listening, go ahead and sign up for either language. We have help available in both. And the messages are also tailored for people if they have type 1 or type 2. The program will ask you what type of diabetes you have so that the messages are better tailored to your individual circumstances.
Diabetes is all too common, especially type 2. This can be a healthier community. It's not hard.
That's right. We all need to work together and really pool our resources and share those with people so that they know what's available and they can help themselves and help other people too.
So good having you in. We're going to have all the links, the information on our Talking Solutions page on Facebook, along with a podcast of our discussion today.
We appreciate it so much, Terry, and it's always a pleasure being on here with you. I had fun.
Come in anytime you want. Raylene,
Yay, thank you.
Southern Nevada Health District and Care for Life. Thanks for being on Talking Solutions. Talking Solutions is a production of the Community Relations Department here at Beasley Media Group, Las Vegas. Get more information on today's topic on our Talking Solutions page on Facebook, where you will also find links and a podcast of today's show. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.